Today we're going to do a quick data transfer test for this 480 gigabyte SATA solid state hard drive. Kind of a inexpensive non-name brand unit, but hide this. I have quite a lot of videos now from doing reviews, and I'm not quite in danger of running out of space on my primary hard drive yet, but I foresee needing to be able to offload some videos as I've been working through. I've got 100 gigabytes worth right now of just videos, just all kinds of miscellaneous stuff, and to relieve a little pressure on my primary drive, this laptop supports a second hard drive, so that's where I've installed this unit. It is described as a 480 gigabyte, and it formats to 447 of usable space. And so I'm just going to create a folder here called Finish Videos to store these, and I'm going to take this is on my C drive, so I'm just going to cut that from the C drive and put it here on this drive, and let's see how fast it goes. And go. Pretty quick. Initial speed was over a gigabyte per second, which is beyond the rated speed of the drive, so it has a good burst speed. I want to say the rated speed was somewhere in the 400 to 500 megabytes per second range, and that's about where we're holding so far. 100 gigabytes of video is a pretty good amount of data. Sometimes we dip a little below 400, and sometimes we've popped a little above 500 too. We'll see if it can sustain this speed. Even with a Samsung high-end or middle to high-end drive, which is what my C drive is, and NVMe M.2 drive, after a certain amount of data transfer, it seems to fatigue and drop off the speed a little. So that could happen here with this drive as well, but so far we're doing just fine at right around that, not quite half a gigabyte per second, essentially 400 some, with a little dip and a little blip here and there. It is holding steady, which is nice to see. That's a pretty good consistent write speed. The first 50 gigabytes are in. The performance here. Disk 1 is, of course, maxed out. We're only reading from the C drive, so that's not quite as taxing of a process to read data as it is to write data. Still seeing a very nice consistent speed. At some point here, I would expect the drive to kind of get warm, but we might make it through this 100 gigabytes without fatiguing it. 17 gig to go. There are some spots where it shows up as a 960 gigabyte hard drive as like part of the device name or something, which is definitely not correct, but it's just a little bit formatted. It's only a little bit under the 480 rated amount. Oh, we're almost there, and we haven't really had a significant speed drop. That's pretty impressive. Now, it's not the fastest drive in the world, but that is about as big a file transfer as I am ever likely to do. It can certainly read at least as fast as it can write, if not a little bit faster, if that gives you a rough idea there. So surprisingly really good result for the overall for that drive. It kept up the pace all the way through a 100 gigabyte transfer, and that is fairly impressive, all things considered, for the value that this device is. And they're being fairly humble with this up to 500. We actually had a little bit higher burst rate out of the gate, so that drive wrote pretty quick. And if it writes that fast, it will read at least that fast, if not faster. So I would say that is a good result. Freed up some space on my local drive, no doubt. Yep, gives a little bit of relief there, so that helps. And I'd say that is, unless you need more than half a gigabyte per second on average, that's a good drive to go with.
Got the 480 gig Vansuny solid state drive, internal storage, 2.5 SATA solid state drive. Great for pictures, videos, business, gaming, easy to install, easy to use, very good value for your money. $580 gigabytes. That's a little under a half a tera. Great amount of storage and a good addition to your PC and laptop memory storage accessories. Thank you.
Hi, this is Dave, and tonight I'm reviewing the Vansuny 480 gig solid state SSD drive, 2.5 inch format. As you can see, it's a solid state drive, pretty standard stuff. Not a whole lot to it. I mean, it's a standard SSD drive. Has mounting holes on the side and the bottom. You can mount it in a 2.5 inch space or in a laptop, or you can use an adapter, 3.5 to 2.5 inch adapter, to mount it in a desktop drive bay. I put this in my desktop, formatted it, transferred 168 gigs to it with no problem at all. So it did what it was supposed to do. I'm very happy with it.